And turn subtitles off, because I don't need subtitles. Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. Hey, Respawn, I'm recording you. Just so you know.
I do not consent to this.
I'm avoiding legal snags. It tells me to avoid legal snags, and I would never want to be in a legal snag, because that sounds terrible.
Yeah. I do not consent. I need an adult. I need an adult.
Well,
oh my god.
The adult's gone this week. The adult's gone. The manager's out. You're stuck with that dude they hired 3 days ago, and they were like, yeah, you can work this whole shift on your own. It'll be fine, I promise. So I don't see how this can go wrong. And just to spite Nitedemon, we're not going to do the opener. We're not going to say welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, because all we have is one Titan and one Hunter. We are a Destiny 2 podcast. We're going to discuss some tips, tricks, and tools. We're going to help you succeed and play more. I mean, you might enjoy playing more. I'm not sure if you'll get much success from the show, but we're going to try. And
Also,
again,
you just
we're not
gave an
streamers.
intro, even though you said you weren't giving an intro.
Yeah.
You gave an intro by not giving the intro.
But, you know, we're different because we're not streamers or YouTubers. And we do have a passion for Destiny, and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date.
Why does this all sound familiar?
Because I like watching your head explode slowly as I say we're not going to do something and then turn around and do it immediately. So anyway, you can find our show at twotitansandahunter at hotmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. And now we're going to actually bring you the show that we didn't open. Alright, so there's the show notes. There's the thing. Alright, we're going to hope this records and doesn't sound too horrible. And if it does, we'll do it all again tomorrow.
No. This week is going to be rough until Thursday.
I don't see how this can go wrong. Alright. Cool. I've got internet. I've got...
And you sent it in PDF form. Somebody's learned. This is episode not 46, dude.
Is it not 46?
Oh, I've already got a 46 saved. Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember, and I meant to look last night, and I didn't. 46, 47, it's whatever episode we're on.
Hey.
Whatever the good people want.
I want to get to our 1/2 centennial here pretty soon there, bud.
Yeah, there you go. We'll just really mess with you people and put out the same episode number 3 weeks in a row, so they think they're just living in some sort of time warp. Like, didn't they just do a 46? Well, yeah, this is 46 again.
To be fair, that does sound like it's right up our alley.
Mm-hmm. December, you hit that time loop, and it's, bad things happen.
Groundhog Day! But for Two Titans and a Hunter. Oh, right. Yeah.
Let's move the laptop with the whirring fan away from the microphone.
The whirring fan!
Yes. All right. There we go. That's better.
We're not recording yet, right?
I hit record because Nitedemon needs to enjoy something since he can't be here to enjoy this in person.
Uh-oh.
And I have, no way to know if it's actually going to be good, bad, or otherwise. Or if one of us drops out halfway through. That's my worry, is we'll get through this and he'll be like, yeah, so there's a 20-minute part where nobody speaks.
Oh, I forgot that this is where that happens.
Yeah, I'm hoping since it's just the two of us and we're, within running a very long cable between us distance, more or less, compared to him, it'll be fine. But yeah, it's gonna be really exciting.
I actually don't see a recording icon on my screen anywhere.
Yeah, I have a little recording
there
counter
it is
at the top of the main Skype thing. Yeah, and then there's a little pop out thing that doesn't show anything because I don't remember how Skype works.
Right.
But also, I can hear you and you can hear me, so I'm going to assume the recording can hear us both.
My my little opera attempt in there, please.
Oh, he's getting the whole file. He gets the opera attempt and everything.
No. Okay, see, here's the thing that you're doing wrong. Leaving that in. All right, that's no.
Are you saying you don't want him to make a song or a video of your opera attempt?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Because I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying there's a chance.
Anytime he catches me off guard, he always seems to record it for something, man.
Mm-hmm. He's working on his, just stock library of Respawn footage and audio. Not so much footage, I guess.
Right.
I don't think the cameras are up in your house quite yet. Take some time
to
get the MI5 folks over there.
I do have cameras in my house, but you don't have access to them.
No, this is totally 46. Because 46 was Detrick and Frosty.
Because I just tried to save it, and it said you've already got something saved.
Oh, probably because I sent the one earlier without any videos or anything in it. I also realized I forgot to put like any of the Destiny Roundup, like stuff from Cosmo and DMG in it. That's probably why I didn't rename it.
I see.
I was like, no, I thought it was 46. Yeah, because 43 was Andy and others. 44 was AZ and Dragon, and then 45 was Frosty and Detrick.
So here's the thing, right? I mean, I know you know this, right? But for everybody out there, actually, I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I have purposely not watched anything about what's going on at all. At all. I don't know any of the weapons that are coming. I don't know any of the well, the only thing I do know is what's going to be on the artifact. I did read into that. The whole what weapons to bring over to the new season. But other than that, I'm completely clueless. So I am learning this as we go, specifically so people can get my initial reactions.
Well, there you go. Well, we might as well go ahead and kick this pig and get this episode started.
Kick this pig! Wait, what the heck did the pig ever do to you? Why you gotta kick the pig, dude? Why can't you just coerce the pig nicely into the pen?
It makes the bacon tastier if you
pig. Why you gotta kick the pig, dude?
Softer bacon, better pork chops. That's how it works.
I mean, he even learned how to read. I mean, granted, it was from a spider, so those things aren't very trustworthy. Yeah. But still, he didn't do anything to deserve to be kicked, or she. Could have been a she, possibly a she. But yeah, still didn't do anything to be kicked, and I think that's very rude.
These are gender non-conforming bacon and pork chops. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Before we begin this week's episode, I would just like to say sorry. Sorry for not being there, and sorry for leaving you with this. So yeah, enjoy.
So all right. Welcome to actual episode 46, the American Revolution. So we have ousted the British. It is just Respawn and Peroty this week.
So we are looking at Destiny 2 Season of Dawn calendar. What does it say? It says December 17th, 24th, January 7th, 28th, February 4th, and 11th.
Yeah, it's got loads of dates on it.
Yeah.
Because Bungie, this week at Bungie for December 5th, 2019, they gave us a trailer and then a reveal stream and then a lovely calendar.
We got the dawning back on. Look at that. Nessus Doi, because I play the game. And EDZ Obelisks, the Sundial. Ozletic, the Sky Piercer. That dude looks pretty baller. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah. Legend Sundial? Don't know what that is.
So do we want to take the people through, what things are happening on each of these dates, or are you just gonna read them in a vacuum and let them figure it out for themselves?
Well, I'm looking at the picture. I can't even see what's happening on the dates. Again, I haven't seen this. Is that an exotic sidearm?
There's a little link below where it says courtesy of Nearest, because Nearest put together a really nice version of this that's better than the Bungie version, that actually shows you like which date each of these are happening, so it's a little easier to read.
Oh, dude, I don't know what Bastion is, but that looks super cool. All right, hold on.
That's because it is. Yeah, that'll give you a version you can
that's the link
read.
I clicked, dude. Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah,
but it should be a version you can click on and actually read it, because it's huge and not tiny.
I did read it, but it doesn't give you any details, right?
Well,
that's what I'm looking at right
details. And that's all you get. All you get are pretty pictures and words.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it was just going into details or whatever.
No, we don't have those yet. While there was a reveal stream, they revealed nothing. Really. There's going to be a sundial, as people have called it. It's Menagerie Outside. So if you're feeling a little pasty from all the Menagerie inside, now we'll have a Menagerie outside you can run and get the nice suntan on Mercury.
Oh, that's a pretty cool symbol too. I want to know what the hell that Bastion is, though. What is that thing?
Oh, I'm sure we'll get to that. I believe that's your new exotic scout rifle that you're going to be handed day one, like you were handed your Ariana's Vow.
Wait, hold on. Wait, you have to turn in the Ariana's Vow? Does that mean you can't have it anymore?
No, I mean, remember how a day one of if you bought the season pass last season, they handed you Ariana's Vow? Yeah. This is to be your day one drop for this new season. Is you get the Bastion, or it's
rifle. That looked like some kind of.
It looks a lot like
fusion rifle.
This is the Vigilant Wings scout rifle brother. Because that was my first thought. Was all of this looks a lot like, unsurprisingly, Osiris gear and Trials gear. So it looks a lot like the Vigilance Wing in scout rifle form. Just like we've got this Devil's Run sidearm that looks like a sidearm, so no one cares about it, but sort of has the same ornamentation. Looks a little bit like the Vigilance Wing sidearm edition.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So shall we tell the people when we're going to get all this good stuff, or keep them guessing?
Yeah. December 17th is Dawning, Nessus, and Ed's Obelisk. It's also the Sundial Ozlatek, the Sky Piercer, and Save a Legend. Don't know what that is. Oh, is that Save 14?
Oh yeah, it's Saint 14. Okay. Now I understand you haven't been paying attention, but there's a big picture of the dude on the left where it says reset launch date December 10th, and a big picture of Sage 14 with his perfect paradox in his helm of.
First of all, that just looks like every other Titan I've ever seen, so that's not helpful.
Well, it's going to be even worse because we're all going to be Sage 14 this season. You're actually limited to the Sage 14 loadout. That's all you can run. So the other two subclasses, I don't know why they worked on revoking or on reworking the solar.
When I'm on my Titan, everything that I have is Saint 14 themed, except the shotgun, because I usually run 2 submachine guns. But yeah,
well, now you have to run 2 shotguns. That's how it works.
They're both perfect paradox. How are you going to do that?
I don't know. You got 2 hands.
That's right. All right, December 24th. That's so cool though. I didn't even realize that. I just saw the little floating thing there, and it reminded me of Saint 14 in the tomb that one time when we had to go look for him. That's pretty baller, dude. If he comes back to life, hold up. Wait. I know we're just getting started, but I want Saint 14 to replace the blue dude who I hate and can't remember his name because he's not important.
Zavala?
That's the guy. Yes.
Saint 14 replaces Zavala. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I want it. Give it to me. Do it now. December 24th, which is Christmas-ish. You get the Iron Banner and the Sundial Tazarok, the Sun Eater. So are we rotating bosses, or is it just like we get an additional boss?
No, we're rotating bosses. It's basically just like Menagerie. The Sundial is our new 6-person match-made event outside, and it's going to have rotating bosses each week. So yeah, Ozlatek was our first one. Tazarok's our second one. First, we're going to pierce the sky, then we're going to eat the sun.
It's a really large Vex. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. So. Who's going to be playing Iron Banner on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or anytime after that?
Nitedemon's going to be playing Iron Banner because that's where he would chime in and go, I'm very excited about Iron Banner coming back Christmas Eve. I'm going to leave the children, lock them all in a room, and then go play Iron Banner for a couple of days.
Nope. Never going to happen. Actually, that's a good idea. Carry on.
Yeah, but he's going to get new toys too, or he's going to have to do the Christmas Day cleanup afterwards. I don't think we'll see him for those couple of days.
Merry Christmas, kids. It's Iron Banner time. You're on your own.
January 17th, starting January 7th, not 17th, because I can read. You have Legend Sundial, which is a sundial, but purple. And then you
legendary.
have right? And then you have the exotic quest, Devil's Run, which is a sidearm. I'm just glad. Is it Ruin?
It is Ruin.
It is Ruin. Yeah, it's not like expanding for me no matter what I do to it. All right. So, yeah, Devil's Ruin, which is a sidearm. And even though I'm not really excited about a sidearm exotic, at least it's not another hand cannon.
This is true. This I will give you. At least we're not getting the 15th hand cannon of the year.
Right. It's like, hey, we've given you enough hand cannons. Now, guess what? What if we gave you a heavy hand cannon? Woohoo! Because my son mentioned that the other day, and I was thinking, oh my God, if they do that, I'm going to stop playing Destiny.
Wasn't that the Ariana's Vow? A heavy hand cannon with a scope on it?
It's a special hand cannon.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
When it hits like a truck with a scope.
Someone was talking something about like a heavy hand cannon that shoots like the mountaintop, but with a magazine of those. You know what I mean? I was like, no, just no. January 28th is going to be the exotic quest Bastion. February 4th is going to open up the Empyrean Foundation and the Sundial Enotom, Oblivion's Triune. something. Hey, wait a second. We got 2 weeks that passed without a boss rotation there. What's going on with that?
Because they give you the legendary version and think that'll hold you over. And
Okay.
give you some exotics. Maybe these exotic quests will be stupidly long, like some of the others have been. I don't know.
I see.
They're like, have an exotic, and then have a couple weeks, and then have another exotic. Also, it's the beginning of the year. New Year's is over there. They're tired. They're like, we're not pushing anything out over New Year's because it's going to break something, and they want to actually have a vacation this year and try
That's
not to
true.
break things.
I guess we got to let the devs rest every now and again, even though they just keep giving us more hand cannons and Titan upgrades. Sorry, did I say that out loud? I didn't mean to say that.
They need to grab their cookbooks and make some of that good Destiny food from the Destiny cookbook, obviously.
I want to see what's in that book. I'm being for real. I want to see what kind of recipes they came up, because I want to see if it's something like Mars marshmallow hot
bars.
nuggets or some. I don't know, but something. I want to see what's in there, if they've got it like Destiny themed and if it looks really cool and whatnot. I don't know, whatever. So February 11th, you have Crimson Days, which is probably just going to be as boring as it was the last 2 times, with the exception of the bow. The bow's not bad, but since then we've gotten 2 bows that are better for the same slot for the same elemental type. So
see, if you're being bored by the Crimson Days doubles, you're not playing it right, because you have to play keep away with the heavy ammo.
Yeah,
between your sweet business and your grenades, you can just stand there and mess with people.
And
so you need to find at least one friend, and I realize that's a struggle. You need to have one friend, and then you can stand next to each other and just taunt the other team. Win, lose, or draw, who cares?
it's not about the friend, it's about the crucible. That's my hang up there. All right, subclass changes. Oh, man, I'm having a hard time talking today, because when you said 9 o'clock, I set my alarm for 8:30, which is what you just heard going off. But my idiot self forgot about the time change, since I'm in a whole different part of the U.S. now.
Oh, I was going to say, so the time changed like a couple weeks back, but yeah, right. The whole time zone is different now.
Speaking of which, I'm in
rough.
South Dakota now, and they promised me like below 0 weather today, and here it is. It's supposed to be below 16, and there's not even any snow on the ground. So I feel personally robbed. I came here to see snow, and I'm not getting any snow. Anyway, moving on.
So they just brought you cold, no snow. That's disappointing.
It is.
If it's that cold, you need to have snow. Otherwise, why leave Florida?
Yeah, and I even got a 4-wheel drive vehicle just to compensate for going through the snow. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, I'm not getting the snow.
You're deprived.
A little bit. Hunter subclass changes. Sticky knife.
Yeah, so I put the links in there to Twitter because they were little embedded videos, so there wasn't any good way to include those.
I see.
Because they first, instead of putting those into the TWAB or anything else, they have been tweeting them out from the Destiny the Game Twitter feed all week.
Yeah.
Starting with the Hunter, and then the Titan, and then the Warlock, which they've only put one out for the Warlock, so I assume there's more coming, but I hadn't seen any as of last night.
So sticky knife is basically just going to be another trip mine. So there's that.
Yeah, pretty much. It shows them, like you throw a sticky knife on the roof and then a trip mine on the wall. Someone runs in, and between the two they die, because as we know, grenades are useless.
Right. I wonder what the radius is on that, because the trip mine, as far as the laser will go out, that's your, whatever.
Yeah.
But I wonder how big the radius on the knife is, or even if it is a radius, if it's just like a timer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, guessing it's a radius. I mean, again, it's hard to say because they just showed someone again, running through a corridor. So it's like, yeah, you got to one, then you got to the other one. Yeah, it's hard to say if it was a timer or just a, when someone gets near, this goes off. I'm guessing it's a radius, but we'll see.
Yep, and they're giving us some more details about the golden gun. Looks like the damage stacks on itself. The second shot did way more damage than the first.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, I was watching the video, and it shows them, taking out a big fallen walker, and the first shot was like 99,000 something damage, and then the follow-up shot was like over 139,000 damage.
Yeah.
So again, I'm sure someone's out there running numbers on Reddit right now going, okay, well, with this it's this, and this it's that, and here's how we can stack here, which I don't know what the damage numbers are anyway, but it seems like, yeah, it's, it's stacking on itself, and with a Celestial Nighthawk, I'm sure you'll be able to do just absurd amounts of damage, so it's going to be as it always has been, a giant DPS machine.
So he's not here, so I'm going to say this so he can't say anything about it. At least when he puts the subclass changes, he gives the details, not a link that I have to watch during the show. Peroty.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they usually. Well, I mean, we talked about the subclass changes 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Literally, all this is a video.
But
it's a
I
video of
didn't
the
see
change in
anything
action.
on the subclass changes about the golden gun doing extra damage, right? I didn't see anybody. I'm watching it now. I didn't see anybody like apply a debuff to the thing.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like I said, I watch them and I don't know. Again, I don't use a golden gun, so I don't know if I just said, hey, here's what this is doing. I don't know if this is better.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if it's worse.
Nobody lays a debuff on it. Yeah, I'm looking at it. He just shoots it twice.
Yeah.
Nobody threw a grenade on it or hit a debuff or anything.
Right, yeah, and he just walks in and just pours damage into it. Yeah, so I don't know, because again, I don't know how the golden gun works before, because every time I see one, I'm being one-shot killed by it, or it's, pouring damage into a raid boss.
It's usually either you get the one shot that does 6 times damage, you get the 6 shots that do really reduced damage, or you get the 3 shots that do quote-unquote normal damage, right? But they're always the same numbers, unless you're
okay.
Or not
Okay, so so it doesn't stack on it. So maybe now it's going to stack on itself. And again, I
That's
don't remember.
What I was thinking. What's
2 weeks ago?
What is called Roaring Flames or whatever? Where you apply a debuff and then your other abilities do damage. That would be cool if we got like a Roaring Flames type thing on the hunter. Yeah.
Again, I can't remember back to 2 weeks when we talked about the subclass changes, what the golden gun changes were. But go back and listen to that episode from 2 weeks back, and it'll tell us things.
Right. And then of course we got that's the wind up. That's not too bad. Hold up.
Okay. So the 6th.
I could see that. So I was worried it would have to I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking how you pull the bow back, right? And you got that
totally.
Right? I was thinking it was going to be like an animation like that, like he cocks back the knife and then chucks it. But no, it's just like a little knife and he throws it. It's still got a lag there, but it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah.
So that I can work with that. That's doable.
Yeah, I was listening to, and I can't remember if it was. I think it was Kami Cakes. It was Kami Cakes or one of the PvP guys saying the same thing. Going, this is, when I throw my throwing knife, I want to throw it. The moment I hit that button, I want there to be a delay. And he had the same worries of hey, is this gonna be a long thing? Is it a long animation, a long windup? So yeah, it's a little longer. It's like throw the button, grab the knife, flip it around, then throw it. So it is a little bit slower, but hopefully between the aim assist and you engaging the enemy with it being a one-shot kill shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an adjustment. But yeah, it doesn't seem as bad as it could have been. Because I think that was a fear a lot of people had.
The video's moving so fast, I can't really tell if he's getting yellow numbers. Yeah, okay, that was the yellow. I see it now, yeah. So that dude is sticking he's sticking headshots from that far. I want that hunter on my team.
Right?
He's just tagging those headshots with that knife.
Remember, professional driver, closed course.
Right. So Warlock can now fly over the entire Hellmouth.
Yeah. So yeah, the video they show is
the Dawnblade. Okay.
Yeah, with the Dawnblade changes, it basically he goes from one end of the Hellmouth over the entire Hellmouth opening with room and distance to spare. So we're gonna see something being broken. It'd be like in D1, oh, you need to fly over this bridge at Crota. Yeah, I got this. Hold on. Hold my beer. I'll be right back. He can fly over and back in one jump, more or less.
Oh, listen.
It's going to be nuts.
People were already complaining that Warlocks can traverse the map in PvP multiple times. What the hell is this? They've just made the problem worse. What?
Would you like to see that Warlock drop it on you from space? Because that's what he's going to do now. Warlock doesn't need a ship. He'll just jump from planet to the next planet.
Yeah. Jesus. Okay. Burning Maw climbs a wall. All right. Let's see what the Titans got to offer. Scary Titan.
Yeah. If you're standing on something, that's not going to help you.
Oh goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So the whole issue about bosses being in the air or people being up on things. No, you basically have a colony for a burning wall now. It's going to climb that wall and it's going to get you.
I don't know how powerful your hammer throws were before, but he just the Logre was also low. The Ogre, not the Logre. I don't know what a Logre is. It was also pretty low health, so I'm not sure how to gauge that. That video where he just Beybladed this Ogre.
Yeah, or he spins it to death. Yeah, I mean the spin was basically a way to traverse the map faster because it did so little damage. It wasn't even worth considering as a move.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been buffed. But again, I don't. Yeah, I saw this. Okay, it's definitely doing more damage, but I couldn't really compare them.
It's
apples
doing
to
more
apples.
damage and it's taking less energy, but like the dude, like he couldn't stand still to take full advantage of it. You know what I mean? You got to constantly adjust while you're spinning. So
Yeah,
for the
yeah. I mean,
Titans, I kind of feel bad for that because it just looks dumb.
yeah. I mean, they buffed it, but why? I don't know. I mean, maybe as like another mob clearer, but why wouldn't you just slam the burning mall down and have that fire track people and then climb walls?
Well, it
I don't
depends.
know.
So the Burning Maw does scale up now, right? But I don't think the radius on the ground is any bigger. So maybe if they're too far away, the spinning Beyblade will have a better shot of getting groups of ads than the Burning Maw with less energy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
I'm sure it's got some kind of use. They had something in mind.
Yeah, there's something. Maybe there's some new content where it'll be useful. I don't know. Or they're just like, hey, we buffed it, and everyone will go, great. Still not going to use it. Good
Right?
for you.
Hey, this sounds like a Titan. Here comes the bullets. That must be all you. What's going on with that there, Peroty?
That was all Bungie. They put that in there. So they're just talking about a couple more changes they made to Season of Dawn that we get on Tuesday. So that Anarchy you're chasing from Shares of the Past, they've buffed that drop rate from 5% to 10% of never.
Right, that buff. So I was doing the raid. I don't mean to interrupt you, but the other day I was doing the raid and I was telling somebody how many times I did the raid last week. I did it on each character last week, and each character the week before that, and each character the week before that. So that's 9 attempts to get the 1K voices. And they're like, "Oh, you've done it 9 times. The 10th time is a guarantee." I'm like, you know what?
No.
That's not how that works. 10% does not mean you'll get it on the 10th try.
Yeah,
guarantee,
yeah. There's
right?
there's not a bar you're filling going, oh hey, you've earned one free 1,000 voices and a free submarine sandwich. No, that's not how that works at all.
Right. And
I mean,
10,
it's 1 out of 10
10% is
every
way
time.
too low for me. 90% is too low for me to get the 1K voices from a raid.
Hey, if Panoramics can get the Sunrise Warrior shader this week, you can get your 1,000 voices. Dreams do come true.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist for him, I thought.
Oh no, he got it this week.
Are you
He
sure?
sent me a video and everything. He has it.
Are you
I
sure?
got I got a text saying I'm done. He said I beat Destiny. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm retiring.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh, I was
Mhm.
looking at his gear like a goober. Like, what does he have? That what?
The shader.
But
Yeah,
it's
no,
the
the shader. Mhm.
Okay.
He finally, after how many days, hours, months, finally
Years.
got the Sunrise Warrior to drop for him.
Well, years, right? Because the game's been out for 2 years now.
It's been a while. Every
Anyway,
time I ask him, he's like, no, I keep checking my collections. It's still not there. Still, he's like, nope. He's like, no, I never got it to drop and deleted it by accident. Just never have seen it. So see, if that can happen, your dreams can come true.
so what else is in this rewards list?
Well, our exotic engram and our faded engram have been collapsed into a single new exotic engram item, which I'm a little confused about because the faded engram is the thing that Xur sells, and our exotic engram is an exotic engram.
So, if I'm reading this correctly, hold on, let me read forward. Maybe they're saying it already. I don't want to look like an idiot again.
No, I mean they just that's
Yes.
that's what
Okay.
the flop says.
So that's exactly what I thought. Yeah. So the faded engram is a guaranteed drop that you don't have. So if you read forward, it says, "Yep, the exotic engrams are now going to be guaranteed to give you an exotic you don't have." Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But
So if there's anything you're missing, and if not, it'll give you a random piece of exotic armor if it isn't.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though, right? So by that, does it mean that because you know how you can only get year 1 and year 2 stuff from the engram, you can't get the new stuff? Does that mean if you get an exotic engram drop, you're guaranteed not to get a new exotic?
Probably. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I hope that's not the case. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't say anything about adding new stuff to the loot pool, but we'll see. And they do say, the contents are still class specific. So if you're missing a hunter piece, you're not going to get on your Titan or your Warlock. You have to be on the character, it is to actually get that piece if you're missing it still. And then everyone was all rabble angry about the light level going up or not going up. So it's going up 10. Your powerful cap is 960 from 950, and your pinnacle cap is 970 from 960. That's it. It goes up 10. The end.
You don't have to have the cap go up every season, you idiots. That's why we have the freaking artifact.
Right. I don't really understand because people were like, "What do you mean we're not getting a light level increase?" It's like, does it matter? Yeah. I'm like, honestly, you're losing light at the beginning of the season because you lose any buff you got from the artifact. You're going back to your 950 base or wherever if you were 950 wherever you ended up.
So now we got to work back the artifact and work up a level cap. That whoever, hold on. Okay, it doesn't say it there. You said that people were complaining about it. So whoever was complaining about that, I'm calling you out. You're an idiot. Moving on.
Just people in the world. I was reading a lot of Reddit this week to try to get other people's feedback and things, and it's like, oh my god, the level cap isn't going. I'm like, who cares? You're powerful enough. Deal with it. You'll get a new sundial, play with that, figure out how to make that level.
Because guess what? You can still go into, year one, day one areas, and the ads can still hurt you. Light level doesn't matter, dude.
No.
Light level just prevents you from going into something new. That's all it does.
Light level makes you better in Iron Banner, and maybe not die as much in, super high level activities. Beyond that, it really doesn't matter at all. Like, as long as you're, near-ish, 900 and above, 950-ish, anywhere, if there's a 9 in the front of your number, you're probably fine. And even beyond that, you're still probably fine. It's okay. So, and then your favorite Escalation Protocol got some love this week. Got some love into this new season. So you're no longer going to have a key to open the chest at the end of Wave 7, so you can just farm it over and over and over again. On every successful completion of Wave 7, you can open that chest.
Is that a good thing, though?
You're also going to get a chest. Every time you open the chest, you will get 1 piece of EP armor for your character class until you have the full set. So if you've been farming that set or just want to have a full set of it, you can actually do that without having to wait 9 months for all of it to drop for you, hopefully. If anyone's playing Escalation Protocol anymore, but hey, maybe they will.
Hey, that armor's badass. Don't talk about that armor.
I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying having jumped into a couple of matches of Reckoning this week, there's not a whole lot of people playing older activities. Now, granted, at least this one's in the game world, so you have a chance of people stumbling across you, but some of the older activities, there's not so many people in there, so it takes a while to find a group. But yeah, and after you get your full set, each time you open the chest after that, you'll get a random piece of armor. And as a result of that, your charged decryption keys and key fragments are being removed from the game since you'll no longer need them. They'll be taken out of your inventory. Your armory keys to spawn the Valkyrie javelins will remain unchanged and will be in the game. And the EP weapon drops were not touched and are still a cumulative stream boss drops. Which I guess they mean the more you do it, the better chance you have of getting them.
So here's the thing. It doesn't say this. And I need to ask you this because maybe you read it somewhere since you were traversing Reddit. It says each time you complete Wave 7, you get the chest. That, to me, seems like a bad thing because you get all your armor immediately in a matter of minutes, right? So the only way that I could think that this would be balanced in any way is if every time you completed Wave 7, instead of going back to Wave 6, you just started over entirely.
I mean, they haven't said, but I'm guessing it's going to be you go back to Wave 6 once you beat Wave 7. But I don't know. I'm going to guess it's the same way to farm it. I mean, I think it's so you could farm it a lot and get all this, theoretically in one afternoon and be done with it.
An afternoon, nothing, dude. Literally, the longest point of this is going to be getting up to Wave 7 the first time. After that, it's just going to be maybe 30 minutes. Maybe.
Right. If you can keep that team together. If you go in with a team, and you can knock it out fairly quickly. Bring your fire team of 3 in if you can, with some other people. But I think the bigger struggle is going to be finding a consistent group to do it, for a couple of runs in a row. Unless you have a group again who is trying to grind out for this armor, because trying to find blueberries to jump into this and do these aren't always.
Wait, you need blueberries to do it? Come on, dude. You're 950. You can solo anything at that light, right?
I don't know. I haven't run an EP since the Mars event they did.
I'm joking.
However months back. So
I'm joking.
I don't. It may be soloable at 950. What do I know? Glad could go do it with a DDR pad and one hand tied behind his back. So
probably
all things are possible.
I also don't know what a DDR pad is. Weapon mods. The cost of slotting a weapon mod has been reduced from 5,000 to 500 Glimmer. fixed an issue where 801 could grant duplicate weapon mods. What?
Yeah, I guess she was giving out weapon mods, the same
Well,
ones,
yeah.
over and over again. I don't know. I mean, I guess
Maybe
because
that was just
once you have them there,
bad luck.
I don't know. Yeah, fixed Ada's RNG a little bit, but I'm happy about the slotting a weapon mod and going from 5,000 to 500 glimmer. Because even that, I mean, even though they increased the glimmer cap, it still seemed like a lot just to put a weapon mod in. Especially if you're changing them around periodically. At 5,000 a pop, it's a bit rough.
So when I was doing the dungeons, right, I pop one of the big yellow bars with my suppression nade, and then tag them at the mountaintop, and then they die, right? And somebody online, I forgot who it was saying that quick access sling is really good for the mountaintop because when your weapon is empty, you swap faster or whatever. And since it's only got the one round, you can swap to the recluse or whatever even faster, especially in PvP, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking through all my stuff and I don't have a quick access sling. And I'm like, okay, well, I remember you could get this from 801. Let's go see what happens. And sure enough, I just went to her, spent 10 armor mods and got it immediately. It was like, oh, that's cool, right?
Oh, there you go.
Right. So it's like, was that the one that she kept giving out? Over and over again?
Yeah, no idea. I haven't talked to Ada in it's been a while.
It's been a while.
New phone.
Well, you need to start talking to her, dude, because the ringing nail is coming back with a vengeance. I don't know if you have one.
Oh, I have one. Don't act like there's an auto rifle in the game I don't have a lovely roll of. I've got my ringing nail with dragonfly and something else on it.
Yeah,
you can just sit back and blow people's heads off, and
then I've got one with I'd have to look. It's definitely got Rampage on it. I want to say Outlaw Rampage. I don't know if it comes with Outlaw. It's another thing that paired really well with Outlaw, but I have 2 ringing nails that are just gorgeous. But yeah, you need to definitely farm for that if you don't have it.
Yeah, I finally got a decent blast furnace roll last season, and I've got a couple of ringing nails. Yeah, the one I've got has Dragonfly Rampage on it.
Ada doesn't have a scout rifle.
Because Ada has never needed a scout rifle. There's just no reason to have one.
Yeah, but I didn't want to have to do the raid to get the god roll of the scout rifle for that DLC, man. I have one. I have one with full auto and I think something else that's good, but I don't have the one that's got full auto with the breathing.
The box breathing.
That's the one. Yeah. So I need a farm for that. Again, I'm sorry. I'm tired.
You've got a Randy's throwing knife. Who cares?
That's true, but it doesn't hit. I don't think it hits as hard as that one. I'll have to check the numbers on that.
Yeah.
But let me check something right quick. You can go ahead while I'm looking up some rolls for some stuff.
Alrighty, you enjoy that.
Yeah.
So we're getting some bounty changes. We're also we're going to add repeatable bounties to the gunsmith because he didn't have them before. We're going to. This one I'm very pleased about. The weekly field bounty where you had to go play a bunch of strikes, a bunch of crucible, and a bunch of gambit to get it done. They've now switched those into a single objective which shares progress from all sources. So play any one of those 3 and you can get that done without having to do each of them in a given week. They've removed the...
Wait, hold on. Wait, back up a second.
Mm-hmm. So there was the Gunsmith Weekly Bounty, the field calibration. You had to go play... You had to go play some gambit, some crucible, and some strikes to get it done. Like they each had a little bar you had to fill.
Yeah.
Now you just have to go do a bunch of something. You can go play all gambit or all strikes, and you can get that done.
Oh, what? That's cool.
Yeah, they squish it down into just
mine
one
always
thing.
had the freaking crucible that was never filled in.
Yep, so. It's like I've got 2 or 3, and I'm never gonna finish this. So yeah, now you just go play the game, and you can get that done, which is a nice change. Because sometimes you just don't want to sit and play a bunch of strikes in a row because you broke yourself getting your unbroken title, or not unbroken, undying, something. Never doing that again.
Oh, full auto explosive head. That's my no feelings roll. So not bad.
Oh yeah, there we go. They've also removed the Valor and Infamy. Remove Valor/Infamy and Vanguard tokens from the field calibration as they're no longer okay. So, and with that same change for the field calibration, they also took away the various tokens for things since there is no longer a requirement to play those 3 activities. So, what's it going to give you? I don't know. Something else. So you'll have to see. They did add a new mode-specific daily Crucible bounty, once per day, selected from the full-time playlist and active rotators. So to give you a Crucible bounty now to go play something specific, go play Control, go jump into Momentum Control, go jump into Mayhem, whatever the thing is of the day, it'll give you a bounty for that thing. They've also reduced the completion requirements for several daily and repeatable Crucible bounties. They don't say which ones, you'll have to find out. And remove the grenade and melee bounties from the Crucible.
Oh my god, yes! Yes!
Making hunters everywhere very happy, and warlocks and titans, and really everyone.
What do you mean titans? With the titan, it was easy, dude. Roll with 2 magnetic grenades with suppression. Psh.
I'm just trying to give all the people some love. Maybe there's people out there who don't know how to grenade well, or don't know what their fists are for. You never know.
Dude, the day that I stop hating Titans, I'm looking forward to, because I do miss playing mine. Titans do have some good utility, but I just...
Well, they're going to make that utility slightly better for a subclass that nobody uses. The Super Yeet is being improved. So your Striker Code of the Missile, that's your middle path with your Thunder Crash. They're increasing the base damage from 2,700 to 3,200, your in-flight damage from 100 to 200, and they've slightly increased the amount of time you have in the air after activation. So I saw someone's video, and I'm sure Nitedemon will be like, you didn't, I posted this 6 months ago, you didn't notice this?
Hey, Peroty, did you see somebody's video, did you? Do you think it might have been the video that I posted on the podcast about 6 months ago? Where somebody super yeeted over people and killed them on the way? No? Not ringing any bells? Nothing? No? Continue.
When you're in flight, if you fly by a Guardian in your Thunder Crash, you do damage to that person.
What?
Yeah, like you can just sort of Superman your way by somebody and you deal damage to that person, like within, I think it's within some radius.
Or
I don't remember. Well, I mean, they've increased it from 100 to 200, so I think so. I don't remember how much life do we have in PvP. I feel like 200 is a killing blow.
I think 190 is the max with like 8 resilience or something like that. Somebody said.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the damage. From the Randy's throwing knife grind, playing momentum control. It's like how much damage are those headshots doing? Those in the 200 range. So I think
in-flight damage. Oh, that's what that means. I thought it was like a multiplier for like because the longer you fly, the more damage you do. I thought that's what that was.
Right. No. Just you can activate it, fly by people, and it will do 200 damage.
Oh my god.
Fly by, and which I mean, it's still going to be fun to run around and eat people off the map and eat people from space, but I still don't know if that's enough damage to really make it viable for anything. But hey, at least it's getting some love.
200 one-shot any Guardian.
Yeah. Then you just have to worry about controlling the thing.
Yeah. Is it hard to control?
Yeah, and I say that only because I honestly really haven't played it that much. Like it's not bad if you're going for a big target. If it's like, hey, there's an ogre, let me go hit him. Yeah. If you're trying to be in PvP and be like, all right, let me fly over here and kind of like land in that control point or something, it's a little hard to control. And you don't have a ton of time in the air. So I'm curious about the slightly increased amount of time in the air you have. So I'm sure something
I'm assuming going to be that has to do with the arc. Because when I see somebody use it, they arc pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's intentional or whatnot, but it looks pretty severe.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much like you can't really fly up. It's sort of you go forward and down. It's just how much down do you want to go?
I see.
And I'll let you talk about your your hunter changes. I have no way to tell if this is good, bad, or otherwise.
Right. I'll get to that in a second, though. But like, what I would love to see, and I say this knowing that I would hate it if it was actually in the game, but just from a visual standpoint, if the Titan could fly horizontal if you wanted to, because how the Warlock can kind of glide through the air with their super, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you during the Thunder Crash could have horizontal movement with little to no arc, and you could just kind of cruise around the map. Now, turning left and right would be difficult, right? Because we don't want you to be too powerful. But you could cruise pretty straightforward until you decided you wanted to land, right? So the visual of actually seeing a Titan fly around the map with his arm out like Superman would be, I think it would be funny as hell. I'm not even going to lie. But obviously the implications would be catastrophic in PvP, but at least it would be entertaining,
If you're gonna die, at least die laughing.
Right. So Night Stalker, Way of the Pathfinder, bottom path. Vanish in smoke. Added a short period of 0.8 seconds after the invisibility is applied, or firing weapons or performing other actions will not break invisibility. That is definitely a buff. It's very nice, because I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally thrown my smoke and then popped off a round. Just, I don't know, because my finger twitched or something, and now I'm out of invisibility. So that's definitely good, right? This should help prevent allies from accidentally breaking invisibility the moment it's granted to them, if unexpected. Yeah.
You're invisible. Just kidding. Way to waste it, guys. Way to waste it.
It's an AoE invis, too. Right. So if I'm with a crew and they're all running and I pop a smoke, I'm like, all right, we're good. And some idiot Titan decides, like, I'm going to shoot the things before realizing he's invisible. At least now he'll have an idea.
Guilty, yeah, because I can't tell you the number of times I've been like, in Iron Banner or, capturing a zone in control. It's like, hey, I'm invisible. And again, I'm playing with people I can't talk to. It's like, yeah, it would be nice to know as I'm, speeding up the sweet business to take some people out. It's like, well, I was invisible. Hey, right. I'm the bait over here. You won't see the 5 guys around me, but I'm the bait. Come over here. It's just me. It'll be fine.
Yeah, when they see the one dot on their radar and it's you, and then all of a sudden they get jumped by the other 4.
Exactly.
Or the other
I got a ghost. I can respawn. It'll be fine.
That's right. Voidwalker Attunement of Fusion, middle path. Handheld Supernova. Adjusted grenade charge time so it lines up with the animations and visual effects. This should make it feel more consistent to activate.
So we're not going to tweak it because it's, demolishing people in Crucible, but we're going to make it feel more consistent when you demolish people in Crucible.
Mm-hmm.
Good change.
It's a good change. Crucible map. I can't help but realize that they're talking about Arc and Void subclasses that they've changed when Solar is coming. It's like, okay.
Yeah, they dropped the whole, twab about all the Solar stuff. Now they're like, hey, we're also tweaking these because they need some help. The animation was off, so it's important to feel the enjoy the.
We're gonna fix
the
these things that you're not
going
to use for the next 3 months.
Yeah. It's important to feel more consistent when you're being handheld supernova to death. I want the person who kills me to feel a more consistent experience of me dying.
They're being so nice about it. Crucible maps added rusted lands to. You know what? I don't think I know enough about Crucible to be saying these things. Added rusted lands to appropriate playlists. Cool.
So I'm not sure which ones are inappropriate, but apparently it's just the PG-13.
I don't even know what Rusted Lands is. I don't know the names of any of them. Right. I know Dead Cliffs because, well, let's just say that I've realized that the cliff was there a little too late more than once. So I know the Dead Cliffs.
Working as intended.
Added Dead Cliffs, Legion's Gulch, Retribution, and Solitude. I think Solitude is the 9 one.
I thought that was Equinox, but I can't remember.
Equinox? See, I don't know these things. All right, Solitude to appropriate playlists. Removed Emperor's Respite, Equinox, Firebase Echo, and Vostok from all Crucible playlists. What?
Which is funny because I haven't seen the Emperor's Respite in forever. Now, granted, I don't remember what list it's in now. But Solitude's the one in the cave where point A is in that cave and then point C is behind the little rock and then there's the building where B is, which I know makes no sense to anyone else. But yeah. So that's Solitude. Yeah. So that's Solitude. Yeah. Equinox is the one that's the of the 9 reckoning looking one.
All right. So
in Rusted Lands, I just have such good memories of playing D1 Iron Banner in. It's just one of the ones outside, and it sort of had I think it was point C was sort of at the top of the top of a burned out building. You could go run down some stairs underneath and just wait for people and then jump up and grenade them, which I know helps no one at all. But yeah. So again, we're getting some PvP. It's nothing. There's no major PvP rework, but like they said, they're gonna make some small PvP changes and tweaks and maps. So those maps you may hate are gone. Those maps you may miss are back in the appropriate playlist, which I don't know what that means, but I remember there was. Some things were in the competitive. Some things were in other things, and I don't.
Not competitive.
Yeah, some things were in just stroll around the map and say pip pip cheerio and tip your hat to everyone else.
Hat tipping! Oh my god! Okay. What's in this? Oh, Eververse. Eververse is changing again.
They are.
Go
They
ahead.
I cut out a whole long thing about here's what we want to do with Eververse. Basically, they're making changes like they do every season because Eververse is an ongoing experiment. So basically, they say by the end of Season of the Undying, around half of the Eververse content was available for Bright Dust, 50%.
Didn't they say that it would all be available at some point?
Yeah, they say a lot of things.
No,
But,
no. Didn't they say that though? Didn't they specifically said at some point in time everything would be available for Bright Dust?
Yeah, I can't remember if that was the season or if that was during the Halloween event. I think the Halloween event they said it would all be available in those 3 weeks. I don't know if they said it for the whole season or not.
Okay.
But anyway, so Season of Undying, half of it was available for Bright Dust. In Season of Dawn, we're going to make around 80% of it available for Bright Dust at some point in the season. And because of that, also, they're going to plan. They plan to share things on their various social media outlets every week about what will be available for Silver only during the season and what will be available in the store. So each week they're going to actually sort of tell you what's coming up. So if you've been waiting for something, or if you want to try to figure out, when to save your Bright Dust up for, they're going to give you a little preview of what's coming to the Eververse store each week. So you can actually buy the things you want because there's not enough freaking Bright Dust in the game.
How can you though? How can you? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because there's not enough Bright Dust in the game.
Right.
So we're going to give you a week to get what's a sparrow? 5,000 Bright Dust, and this ghost shell that's another 2,000 Bright Dust. We're going to give you a week to get thousands of Bright Dust, but only give you the ability to get to collect 200 Bright Dust. And I can't talk right now. Blah.
Yeah. Which and with an eye to that, they do talk about the Bright Dust economy. They changed it in Season of Undying. They changed Bright Dust from a pay and or play to earn currency to a play to earn reward, which you couldn't play enough to earn enough of it to be a good reward. And they want all players to be able to acquire a selection of their favorite Eververse content each season just by playing the game, and we're keeping an eye on the economy. Not a close eye, but they're keeping an eye on the economy. So in Season of the Dawn, all dawning weekly and repeatable bounties will award Bright Dust quantities equal to those available from the other activities, which is 200 for a weekly, 10 for a repeatable, and Crimson Days will have the same thing. So they're going to address it by putting some stuff into the dawning. So at least, unlike the Halloween event, where you couldn't pick up, you could pick up the extra bounties from Test Eververse.
Right.
It wouldn't award you any Bright Dust. So at least if you're playing the event, the time-limited event they give you, that has the things you probably want in it, you can actually earn
repeatable
Bright
quest,
Dust.
Though? How much?
10. There's 10 Bright Dust for each of those. Any of those...
No. How much does it cost to purchase?
Purchase some amount of glimmer. It's nothing crazy. I honestly don't remember.
All right, hold on. Are we talking about from Eververse, or are we talking about Crucible... No, repeatable bounties will give you Bright Dust.
Yes, right now, how every vendor with a repeatable bounty, that little extra bounties on the side, almost all of those give you Bright Dust.
Okay, so let's think about this for a second. Each one of those costs 3,000 glimmer. I know this. Each one of those costs 3,000 glimmer. So for 3,000 glimmer, you can exchange it for a little elbow grease and 10 Bright Dust. 10
Bright Dust. Mm-hmm. As you're working through your, weekly whatever for your 200 Bright Dust. So it's still not, it's a step in the right direction, yes. Because again, for the Halloween event, you could receive 0 Bright Dust for anything from Test Gaming.
Yeah, I know.
0. So again, it's a step in the right direction, but it's a tiny baby step. It's you put your toe over the line and said,
okay, so you have, let's say, okay, baby, you're a baby, right? There's this thing on the top shelf that you want. You can see it. You can almost reach it. But in the end, you can't get it. So, great. Now we can get 10 Bright Dust in exchange for 3,000 Glimmer. So, that means, A, you'll be broke all the time and still not have enough Bright Dust.
Yeah. So, again, moving in the right direction, but very, very slowly. So I appreciate they're at least aware of it and are doing what seems like a really obvious thing of you put a time-limited event in the game, people are going to play it, give them the reward they want from it, especially since you took away the ability to break down all the stuff from Eververse to become Bright Dust.
but
So
listen,
they're doing
how
their
do
they're
how do
doing
they
their
not know
typical Bungie
basic
thing.
math, dude?
Well, they're doing what Bungie always does. They move way, it's like a drunk driver in a car. You swerve way off to one side, then you overcorrect way back to the other side. That's sort of how they make their changes on some of the stuff. They're like, okay, we have all the bright dust. Now we're gonna have none of the bright dust, and we're gonna, maybe now we're gonna slowly inch our way back. We're gonna slowly correct the car so we don't, run off the side of the cliff into the rusted lands.
Yeah, I
And
know that's what
into
they
the dead
do,
cliffs.
but it takes a 9-year-old to be like, hey, if it costs this much and you get this much in return and you have this much time to do it, they're going to be at a deficit all the time.
Right.
You're going to have to go for weeks, plural, to get the amount of bright dust that you want to get, like an exotic sparrow, for an example.
Yeah.
So
Or a
telling me
sweet
1
pterodactyl
week
ship.
in advance isn't going to do me a whole lot of good if I need 2 or 3 weeks to get the amount of bright dust doing all of my bounties and all of my repeatables during that week.
Yeah, grind your way out. And I know we've covered the exact numbers before, but yeah, it doesn't work out for anything that's a high cost. Yeah, like the ships or some of the sparrows that are 2,500 or 5,000 or whatever. It's not a thing. Because you can play this game and grind, and you're just not getting it from anything else. I'd be just as happy to have little, like how you get little bits of glimmer popping from, enemy kills. Just give me little bits of bright dust every now and again, just sort of randomly, or, for 3 headshots in a row. Just, some condition, even just trickle it into the game. Like the freaking.
Even if it was something simple as you get 1 bright dust, a single one, per headshot. Or
right. Yeah.
Even if per headshot is
something
too much, maybe per headshot kill. Right? Something, man.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. Just put something into the game where it's like, yes, theoretically you could farm it if you do this, particular thing. But yeah, give us an actual economy. I feel like we're right back where we are with the enhancement cores now. It's like, oh yeah, you could do this. I mean, you can't really, because you don't have enough of this to ever do it unless you're, unless you're playing 8 hours a day every day. It's like even the amount of time I've played this season, and again, I've got the Undying thing, so I played a lot of freaking time this season.
Yeah.
I still have very little bright dust. There's still some materials I just don't have many of.
If they can tell us what they're going to have a week in advance, they can tell us what they're going to have for the whole season. Put it up in the calendar. Say, week 1, you're going to get this. 2, you're going to get this. 3, you're going to get this. 4, you're going to get this. Because even though the economy is crap right now for bright dust, at least we know, hey, I'm going to want this in 4 weeks. I got to make sure I have enough bright dust at that time. Give me the whole season. Without spoilers, hopefully, right? Because, we don't necessarily want spoilers, but anything that's spoiler-free, let me know,
Yeah, and if you're going to sell, perhaps, Santa's sleigh sparrow again, put it out there in an outline, or say, do the whole question mark. Ooh, here's a cool thing coming. Like, in which case, hey, at least this will be interesting. Maybe I want to keep my, 2,500 bright dust or whatever around for this maybe cool thing
you
coming.
Don't have to give us a picture. You can be like, hey, there's an exotic, a new exotic sparrow here. And like you said, put the little question mark icon. Hey, I know there's going to be an exotic sparrow. I know how much it costs. I might not know what it is, but I know I'm probably going to want to get it. Exactly.
At least, man.
Yeah.
Let me make some decisions. But hey, but at least they're also going to put in some purchase protection where you can no longer purchase the same item that you already have in your collection.
Oh my God! Thank you.
Well, I was to say, which could be good or bad, because didn't you buy a whole bunch of one of the sparrows trying to get the
that's fine.
The quick spawn thing for it?
The thing about it is you don't know if you've previously bought it, because other things that you previously bought will be darker than the rest. You can still buy it, but that it's an indicator that says, hey, you already own this, right?
Right, but if you no longer purchase it again, does that take away your ability to, if you're going for a particular role on that sparrow? Again, not that any of us have loads of bright dust. We're just sitting on waiting to buy things over and over again. But
you can buy it from your collections, though.
That's true. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah. And will that give you a random roll though, or does that give you the same roll?
That'll be cheaper because from your collections it only costs 800.
Yeah, but doesn't that give you a fixed roll?
It gives you a random.
Is it a random roll?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought it was all fixed roll stuff. Okay.
No, not for the sparrows and whatnot. Sparrows and ghosts and random rolls.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever pulled one and I collect them. So I usually just keep ghosts until they're full, and then I throw them away and go, why do I need this? See, I have the mini baby sparrow. That's the only one I'll ever need. The rest of the sparrows, they're just there taking up space.
That's true.
I would break them down, but there's no point because I don't get anything good for them.
All I want them to do is to darken the icon if you've already got it. I don't want you to prevent me from buying it, but
Yeah.
darken the icon
Yeah,
or put
just
a
let me
check
know.
mark or put some indicator that says I own this already, especially shaders, right?
Right. That's what I was just going to say. The shaders, particularly, I look at it and I go, well, that's sort of nice. I want to at least have it in my collection, And again, and I do have a bit of the collector gene. I don't need to have everything. Look at you, Nitedemon. You don't have to have everything.
Yes, I do. Carry on with your rambling.
But you can have a lot of things. It'd be nice to know, did this drop for me somewhere? Or should I buy one of these shaders so at least it's in the collection so I know I could pull it out at a later time? Again, baby, major course corrections to screw things up, baby steps back towards getting it good again.
I just looked at the timer. We're on page 4 and we're an hour into the podcast.
We are flying, man. We are rolling. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right?
This is warp speed for us.
Get it before it's gone. On December 10th, digital deluxe edition of Shadowkeep will no longer be available. Season of the Undying is almost over. Season of the Dawn begins soon. The longer time progresses, the less value you'll be able to derive from the offering that includes all the seasons we're deploying this year. So we're going to stop selling this bundle. If you still want it, you have a few left. You have a few days left to grab it for 25% off. Ghost of Exos Past.
By the time this podcast comes out, buy it right now because that's Tuesday when the season drops. So if you haven't heard this by now or bought it by now, it's gone and you missed it. Sad for you. Carry on.
Ghost of Exos Past. As we prepare for the changing of the seasons, player support has the info you need to know before you go. Currently, we're in the final week for the season of the Undying in Destiny 2. All players should be aware that this season comes to an end. Some activities and loot sources will become unavailable. Here are some notable callouts. Vex Offensive, match-made activity. Vex Offensive on the Moon. Vex Weapon Data Seeds from Ikora. The Gear Lord's Eye Seasonal Artifact. Power bonuses granted from Seasonal Artifact. Season-specific triumph seals and titles. Undying's free and premium season rewards, including the acquisition for Ariana's Vow. Ariana's Vow Catalyst Quest. So if I have the Catalyst Quest and I haven't completed the quest,
Please note.
Wait.
Please note.
Oh. Please note that Ariana's Vow and his Catalyst Quest will become obtainable through, you know what? Shut up. Destiny 2 update. So no, they don't go away. All right.
Yeah, but I appreciate them putting them in there because I feel like in season pass it's been like, hey, this goes away, but this thing too, we'll tell you on Reddit in 3 weeks. So yeah,
you need to have you after it's gone if it disappeared.
Yeah, grab your Ariana's Vow. If you don't have, if you haven't done your Catalyst, I think I'm freaking like 10% on mine. So yeah, that you can still work through the Catalyst for, but you still need the gun because the gun goes away as part of the season, which I think is interesting too. And they do say you will be able to obtain this gun at a later date and time, blah, 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 blah. Sometime eventually, one day, maybe when the faction rallies come back in, year of our internet 2050.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, but a ton of stuff goes away. Anything obviously with season 8 Triumph. So they do have a big link. We'll put the link in the show notes to like their full long list of here's all the stuff that goes away and all the triumphs you can no longer get because it's a big long list. And since Demon's not here, we're not going to read it all to you because we love you.
Speaking of which, we're going to skip the release dates too for next week because if you don't know it by now, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Invitation notifications. Today we'd like to.
It comes out on Tuesday reset. That's all you need to know.
Right.
And there will be some downtime around it. So yeah, Tuesday reset. There will be downtime. It comes out. Consult your local oracles about what time it is in your area. Moving on.
Invitation notifications. Today we'd like to announce an upcoming feature that allows players to disable clan invite notifications in game. What?
Is this a thing people needed? I mean, as someone who takes great pride in sending random clan invites to whoever has the Otter Dance or the Dawn and Dust shader or just has a hilarious name, I want to make sure my invites are getting to those people.
Can anybody send a clan invite?
Yeah.
I've never tried to. I don't even know how. Like, I'm not an admin. Can I send a clan invite to just some random?
You should be able to, yeah. Like if you inspect the person, there should be like, I think it's like if you view their gamer tag thing, I think you can invite them, add a friend, invite to clan, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be there for everybody.
Starting with the 2.7.0 update, PC players will now be able to disable these in-game notifications by going to Settings, Gameplay, Clan Invite Notifications. When this feature is disabled, players will no longer receive clan invite notifications during Destiny 2 gameplay. Players on other platforms can expect this feature to arrive at a later date. Why is this a problem? It's probably one of those YouTubers that get constant spammed with clan invites. That
probably.
This was made for.
Yeah, I had the same thought, but now that you say that, yeah, the folks on PC are probably the more popular folks and are getting nothing but invites. They're trying to stream their game, and all it is just a constant stream of invites from people.
Right.
So it makes sense they're pushing it to PC first, and then the other stuff later on. That's a good point. Yeah, because I had the same thought. I was like, is this a problem? Like, yeah, not for us, but yeah, certainly for someone if they're putting into the game here.
Yeah, and it turns out that apparently you can already disable client invites by going to Bungie.net profile settings in a desktop browser, under settings, privacy, Destiny privacy. Bam, done. Season of Dawn information. Take it away, Peroty.
All right. So again, Season of Dawn, which we have been talking about for the last hour, it starts December 10th. It ends March 9th. Put it on your calendar so you don't forget to do things. Oh, and before Season of Undying ends on Tuesday, if the podcast makes it out by then, if you've done your Undying, everything's, make sure you turn in the Triumph and claim your Undying seal. Otherwise, it goes away and you won't be able to, and then you'll be sad. But now that you've already missed that, because it's probably Wednesday when this comes out.
Oh, ye of little faith.
We're now in Season of Dawn, and the Vex invasions are defeated. Osiris is calling upon us to face a new threat. We have to stop the Council of Cabal Scion flavors. Yes. Flavors. There's Orange Scion, Blue Scion, Purple Scion, and Green Apple Scion. So we have to stop all of those Scion flayers from manipulating time and undoing our victory against the Red Legion. So here's what you're getting. If you just rolled up to this game, free to play, new light, you're like, hey, Destiny's amazing. Here's what you're getting for free. Come Tuesday, you get the free seasonal rank rewards, just like this past season. You're going to get your seasonal artifact, the Lantern of Osiris. You're going to help Osiris fix the timeline by restoring obelisks on 4 destinations. You're going to unlock the seasonal armor set, the Righteous armor set. And you're going to progress through the seasonal ranks to earn your exotic scout rifle, the Symmetry. And again, basically same thing as last season. Go through the ranks, get the rewards, slowly but surely. Now, for Season Pass people, if you've bought the Season Pass or bought the season, you're going to instantly unlock that exotic scout rifle, the Symmetry. Just like the Ariana's Vow, they hand it to you as here. Here's a new gun. Go enjoy it. You're getting your new exotic scout rifle this season. You're going to have the new 6-player activity, the Sundial, also known as the Merengue, outside. The exotic quests, seasonal armor sets and ornaments, new Triumphs, Bounties, seasonal lore books, your exotic emotes, ghost ornaments and finishers, and your additional season pass rewards to unlock. And we'll put a link in the show notes. Someone has taken all 100 rank rewards and put them into one big image so you can sort of scan through those, as opposed to having to go click next on Bungie's site. And the pass feels sort of very repetitive, sort of like last season. Especially if you're a season pass holder, you're sort of going to get a bunch of that, bunch of materials. Looks like you're going to get an Eververse engram every 5 ranks, every 10 ranks. Looks like you're getting an XP booster of some kind. After rank 16, it's every 10, and materials every 10 ranks after 19. So again, a lot, some filler like last season, but you're also getting some good stuff with it. And then we have a little bit of the Season of Dawn reveal trailer, which I swear I watched and didn't get half this information, but iDutchBoy with 2 Y's on Reddit has posted a couple things that his eagle eyes have found from the reveal stream. So we're getting some new champion mods, or I guess same champion mods, new gun types. So our anti-barrier is going to be on bows, scout rifles, and pulse rifles. Your unstoppable burst will be on a scout. Your unstoppable shot will be on a bow. And your overload rounds are going to be on auto rifles and submachine guns.
So
we assume, but that's not confirmed because I don't know if anyone said what happens to the mod you have from last season on things because you've applied the mod. Do those mods go away? So if
because if you notice, even when you reset your artifact, the mods go away.
Even on things you have them equipped on.
Yeah. Now, when you select it again on the artifact,
I hadn't actually
weapon.
Okay, because I think I reset it once, but I didn't check to see if I actually removed the mods. Yeah, so this past season was all about hand cannons, auto rifles, scout rifles. This new season is going to be all about bows, scout rifles, and pulse rifles. So find your favorite ones.
So hold on, I just wanted to elaborate. Those of you that don't have the Hush and have the quest, now is the time to get it done because the Hush is going to be so powerful in this next meta drop. In this next season meta. I don't know why I said meta drop. In this next season, the Hush is going to be so ridiculously powerful for PvE. If you don't have it, get it.
And I've got it, but what's the Hush do? What's its
Okay,
fancy
so
perk on it? Why should the good people care?
you get more accurate hip fire. You get better hip fire accuracy, and if you just tag a crit shot, you don't have to kill. Just tag a crit. It decreases your draw time to just over a third of a second.
Ooh,
So you can spam it. Yeah, boom.
So you have an auto rifle bow at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And the cool thing about it is the buff initially lasts, I want to say 8 seconds. It's a long buff timer. And every time you tag a crit, it just refreshes the buff. So you just boom, 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 just all day. And you put that mod on the mod you were just talking about on that bow. Oh!
So would you call that loadout the sweet bowness?
Yeah, let's call it that.
Welcome back to dad jokes.
Right?
All right. So we're also getting a new mod, the Guardian Angel, which grants a chance to generate healing orbs for you in Scout, Sniper Bow, and Linear Fusion Rifle precision kills. So instead of break test dropping, you'll at least get some healing orbs dropped. So Lumina is getting its value decreased even further. But hey, I'm sorry, Lumina. You had your week in the sun. We're also getting some armor piece mod slots. So in all caps and big bold letters, some of these will decrease your stat values. So there's going to be a little bit of trade-off with some of these mods this season. So you can have a protective light mod, which while charged with light, you will gain significant damage resistance against combatants when your shields are destroyed. This effect consumes all stacks of charged light. The more stacks consumed, the longer the resistance lasts. That's going to decrease your strength by 10. The shield break charge, become charged with light by breaking enemy shield with a matching energy type. The empowered finish, which is become charged with light by finishing a combatant, consuming 1/10 of your super. And the precisely charged mod, become charged with light by getting multiple rapid precision bows with the linear fusion rifle or sniper rifle. That's going to decrease your discipline by 10. The high energy fire, while charged with light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. Each defeated enemy consumes 1 stack of charged light. And then there's also 2 more mods that they didn't show that we'll have to find out when it drops on Tuesday. And the sundial, again, we sort of talked about. It looks like Merengue, sort of it acts like it too. You'll always complete the activity. So there, again, just like Merengue, Menagerie, there is no fail. You might not do as well, but there is no failing the activity. You'll eventually get through it and get something from it. There will be a hard mode. You'll kill some enemies. You go into the sundial. You're going to go to past, present, future. There's a bunch of mini bosses. They're going to have new. Again, we talked about they're going to have multiple bosses. They're going to rotate each week. In the season, there's no raid and there's no trials. But most importantly, Saint 14 loves pigeons.
What?
I Dutch boy added to the end of his post. Saint 14 loves pigeons. That's why his ship's named the Pigeon. So yeah, pigeons. Okay.
Bit of a stretch, but we'll go with that. Additional news and info from Cosmo. Oh my God! Oh, Cosmo! Season of Dawn patch note preview. Fixed a rare issue where the question mark quest item from the mission, A Mysterious Disturbance, could get stuck in inventory.
Present.
It has been removed from the affected players. Has it been removed from you, Peroty?
Not yet, but I assume it will be. Because I just started my Warlock.
It says has been.
It says has been, but I don't think it actually has. I'll have to check because it was definitely there. I started my Warlock for the first time this season, this past week, and I got the question mark quest item again. So I'll have to check to see if it's actually gone now because I've had all my Titan all season going. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this if it's going to become a real thing. I figured it wasn't that big a deal since nothing else, was broken. It wasn't stopping me from progressing anything, but it just sits there with a bunch of question marks. So, yeah, glad that finally got fixed.
Okay, so Dylan and Cosmo have spoken to the team about getting Ascendant charged for Valor resets. We've mentioned that it's stuff for players who prefer PvP to MW? Currently, since the higher tier materials are not available in PvP activities. Nothing set in stone, but they're aware of the request. What the hell is MW? Who prefer PvP to MW? Did you write this or did you copy this?
No, this is straight copied out of what he wrote. Yeah, PvP to MW, and so I don't know what the MW stands for in this.
I'm just
I
thinking
kinda
like
have the
modern
same thought.
warfare. It's like what?
Right. I mean, I know PvP, to PvE, but I don't know what the MW is. Yeah, no, it's straight from his Reddit post from Cosmo. So
Damage has a post where there'll be a ritual weapon on Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit next season. Twitter, you don't give us any details. How are we supposed to know what to expect? Damage. The sparrow shown in the Eververse ad was pulled before the season.
And Respawn, that's why they don't tell us what's coming. They think it'll be there, and then they say no. That sparrow actually had a broken engine, so we had to pull it. You're getting a different one.
So the sparrow shown in the Eververse ad was pulled before the season launched. The sparrow will be available through Eververse in a future season. Why would you pull a sparrow? Whatever. Season of the Dawn patch note preview. Reduced arc logic's muzzle blast size when aiming. That's pretty cool. Because have you fired that thing yet?
I sure have, and yeah, it's a
flashbang every bullet in your face.
You can no longer see what you're firing at. You just sort of hope for the best that you're hitting something.
Snap. Okay, so what did I skip off?
Feedback.
There it is. Feedback to give PvP players a way to earn Ascendant Shards and Prisms without PvE has been passed along to the team. On if Season Pass model worked. Okay, I know what they're trying to say, but the way they worded it was weird.
Yeah.
We'll be watching feedback constantly, both. It's the same thing. It's worth noting we are going to define success or failure off of one season. Seasons will continue to evolve to address feedback, but we do hope that there will be many aspects of the season that we are appealing to players. That were appealing to players. Oh, my brain sees the words, but the mouth doesn't say it.
That's right. Okay. And honestly, I meant to cut this one down on Warlock PvP super issues. We get that the super, damn it, what's the middle one called? It sucks. People want it to suck less. The Nova Warp. That's it. Yeah, they're like, the Nova Warp sucks. We like the Nova Warp to suck less. And they're like, we're looking at the Nova Warp, maybe making it suck less. If you have any specific, ideas for them or actual ways you want it to be buffed, let them know. That's what those 4 paragraphs say.
just because you know how the bottom tree you can consume a grenade and have healing. I'm not saying give me the healing on the grenade and the melee, but if you could give me one or the other, that'd be great. Just let me get my super back every 10 seconds and heal. That'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make the Nova Warp useful again,
dude. I look, people are saying it's not useful for PvE and PvP activities. It's great. It might not be phenomenal for boss damage, but if you're clearing ads or you're clearing guardians, it is amazing. I don't know what people have a problem with. I'll be honest with you. If you have a recluse and you have the Nezarec Sin on that middle tree, you get super back immediately. Hey, I popped a super. I got another one. Okay, it's not that extreme, but you get your super back redonkulously fast with Void Weapons, Nezarec Sin on a middle tree, freaking Nova Warp. So whatever you're talking about, maybe it's like boss damage or something. I don't know, but I don't think it sucks because that's what I use every time I get on my Warlock to play. That's all I use, unless they specifically tell me they need a Well of Radiance. I'm middle tree Warlock, Void Warlock. So I don't see what the problem is. Wow, that is holy crap! That's a big section, man.
Yeah, but a bunch of these were like short novellas they were responding to people with this week. I guess they felt wordy.
So I guess that's their complaint is okay right there. Yeah, it says the duration of the super was nerfed too hard. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it did last way too long in Gambit. Have you seen? I think you were one of the people that would play with me when we played Gambit when that first came out, right? That I would clear the beach, go over to the trees, clear the trees, and I'm still in my super.
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting that they nerfed that so quickly, but then Bottom Tree Striker, which you can do the same thing with, run from one side of the map, clear it, run to the other side of the map and clear it. They were like, no, we're going to leave that one up for a while.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Regular as clockwork. Respawn's weekly Titan rant. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play the music now.
Bungie's Titan mains. They've admitted that they're Titan mains. All right. Of course, that wouldn't be nerfed anytime soon. I'm surprised they touched the one-eyed mask, if I'm being honest. If it wasn't for all the negative feedback from even other Titan players saying that this is OP, they probably wouldn't have even touched that. Let's be honest, man. Come on. Anyway.
That was short-lived. Oh well. Continue.
On Trials, it's not coming back. Stop complaining about it. On Armor and Armor Reuse.
Yeah. I mean, that's more or less what they say is, Season Dawn will feature elimination in permanent mode. They're going to continue to monitor it. See how the sandbox changes.
Now. Did you see that?
What's back? Trials is back now?
Trials is back now. Yeah. If you go play Crucible, it's not Trials, but the mode where you have 3 people,
right?
You don't respawn. That's Trials.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's what they're saying. The elimination is back. So I get the feeling that they're trying to, like they did with all the Crucible Labs last season, all the different versions of elimination. I get the feeling they're trying to find like the right mix of elimination before they bring it back as actual Trials.
I don't see. Do you remember what the problem with Trials even was? I remember everybody started complaining when it was Laser Tag Weekend, but other than Laser Tag Weekend, what's the problem with Trials?
That it was honestly the 4v4. When they brought it back as 4v4, it was 3v3 is a good mix for Trials. 3v3 elimination.
Right. Oh, is that what it was? 4v4? Okay.
Yeah, because D1 it was 3v3 elimination. D2 it was 4v4, and I don't even remember if it was different, if it was still elimination or if it was the two different, like the countdown and the other mode.
Elimination. There were different versions of Trials, if I'm not mistaken. One of them you had to defuse the bomb, and the other one, if you died, a teammate had to respawn you. Right.
Yeah. So I think it was they sort of. They messed with the formula a little bit too much, so I'm glad they're getting back to going. Hey, this worked. Fours felt like too much. Like if you're playing a competitive game mode like that, keeping track of if you're engaging one person, 3 other people was a little much. I think the 3v3 was a good size and a good size for the map. So I'm glad they're sort of getting back to the 3v3 elimination style because I think it worked. Mm-hmm. And I get the feeling they're really trying to find the right mix of how elimination works in D2. Of exactly how to bring it back before they say, "Hey, this is trial." Because if they bring it back and it's not great, if it's not bad out of the park 1,000, they're going to get smashed over it, and I think they know it. So I think they're going. We're going to bring elimination back in a bunch of different forms, figure out the best one, and then maybe next season we'll bring back actual trials, or the year after that, depending what their plans for next season are. So. I mean, that's just my guess, but I think the 4v4 was not the right mix. The 3v3 elimination is where it should sit.
Especially if you keep in mind how they had the Graviton Lance and the freaking what was the exotic scout rifle everybody's using now inside of
Jade Rabbit?
No, the other
Lance?
one. Yeah, no. The scout, not the other scout rifle, dude.
Those are both scout rifles.
Polaris Lance is up. I was thinking Gabriel.
Jade Rabbit, Polaris Lance.
God, the one we had in D1, man. Might have multi-tool. The multi-tool.
Okay.
Yeah, because in the beginning, when you had 4 people, if you just so much as peeked a corner, all of them would fire that one shot and you're dead. Like, instantaneously. So.
Yeah, that would do it. So, I think, again, they're working on it. I think they're moving back toward trials, but like you said, baby steps.
Mm-hmm. Armor and armor reuse. You want to take that one?
People are cranky about reskins.
Oh, okay. Moving on. On PvP content.
Yeah. or actually, no, I take it back. It's not the reskins. So, they've been getting feedback. Player 1 Armor 2 versions of the older, Vanguard / Crucible armor and previous Iron Banner sets. Yada yada. They're working on it. Destiny 2 launch. Iron Banner will be returning with Armor 2 functionality. And the desire for armor refreshes is being passed along with the team, but really, guys, you've got ornaments for most of the stuff. Just put the ornament on, and then it doesn't matter what it looks like. Because you put an ornament on it, and it looks like the old stuff. and everybody wins. And I think that's why some of the armor of the season has looked a little bit dull and not that super interesting visually, because you've got like a dozen ornaments or more you can put on it. Put that stuff on, and then you're good.
I do like how you can put it on individual pieces instead of just like the whole set, because like for my hunter, I had to mix things from one set and the other set, because if I put on all of the one set, I legitimately look like a tiny Titan with a cape. I'm not joking. Even my son's like, "Oh my God, are you playing a Titan?" I was like, "No, I'm a hunter." He goes, "What?"
Not anymore.
Yeah, I look like a little Titan with a cape. So I just thought that was funny. I was like, yeah, if I look like this, maybe I'll scare people in PvP.
Were your shoulders huge? Because really, you don't have a Titan unless your shoulders are like
everything.
Oh, there you go. See, that's the true mark of a Titan. If your shoulders are like 4 times larger than they should be, that's a Titan.
On a hunter, they're big considering
right.
Shoulders. So yeah, it was big on a hunter, and on top of that, it's our cape, our cowl, whatever you want to call it, didn't have the hood up while in combat. So the hood is down. So you see somebody with shoulder pads coming at you without a hood on.
And a cape,
who does that remind you of?
It's a Titan.
Yeah.
Whether it be a butt cape or full cape, it's still a cape.
So anyway, yeah. So I had to change some things up that way. It didn't look exactly like a little mini Titan. On PvP content, there's a whole page just full of that.
Yeah. So again, they've been taking. I can read that if you don't want to, or
yeah, go ahead and take that.
To you.
Yeah, I'm PvP'd out.
Yeah. So again, people have been asking a lot about PvP. That's why the questions of, hey, when you reset your Valor, why are you not getting any top tier rewards if you're a PvP player? There's really no way to advance your way through the seasons, or to masterwork your gear, or get those top tier rewards and top tier even just economy items to do this stuff with, because there's just no path for it for PvP. So they've been talking a lot about PvP this week. So the Shadowkeep launch, we refreshed the Crucible nodes, added a solo playlist for competitive, refactored glory games, and started curating Crucible maps, and pulled the one of the ones performing out of rotation for some love. This was the beginning of their work on Crucible over the next year, and we're far from done. So again, they're starting to do this. It's not perfect yet. Stop screaming at them. In Season of Dawn, they're bringing back Rested Lands. They're bringing Elimination to a static playlist available at all times. And they will be doing a bit of sandbox work on how the Crucible gameplay feels. So they previewed the changes for the One-Eye Mask and the Recluse, which are also coming on Tuesday, don't forget, which may shift the sandbox around a bit. On top of that, we have a slew of new legendary items, weapons, exotic armor pieces, and subclass changes, which we hope will push players to new builds. We'll also have a few maps returning to rotation with fixes to spawns and other issues, with a selection of maps being removed. And again, as for the masterwork materials, we're passing the feedback along to the team. The current source of materials, as stated in the original post, is after a full Valor refresh. This isn't comparable to other parts of the game. Gambit shares these issues to the extent, but they are fully masterworked weapons that drop from time to time and end up granting more materials than Crucible. So even in Gambit, if you're just grinding Gambit all day, you're getting more materials than you do out of grinding Crucible and being top tier there. We've introduced new pursuit weapons to. I'm sorry, we've introduced. I'm having a Nitedemon moment. We're introducing new pursuits. We're introducing.
Do you need me to take it over now?
They're going to give you new weapons for players to earn via glory. We hear you on the legend rewards, and those have been passed along to the team. Again, they understand the feedback that things feel slow. We have 3-month seasonal rotations and a few additional updates within each season, which players find to be too long for upkeep and refreshes. Again, they're passing that feedback along to the team, but it's going to be a slow process. They're trying not to rush out fixes or changes, which may break the experience. See Laser Tag Weekend. This isn't meant to downplay your feedback in any sense. We just want to, say that game development takes time, and they don't want to rush things, because that often ends up creating more issues than it solves. And we've seen a bunch of major game-breaking things, in the last year that they're trying to avoid more of, especially in a competitive Crucible environment. Until then, we have people working on the Crucible internally. They're tweaking the modes, they're matchmaking, they're making sandbox changes. Please keep the feedback coming, and we will collect it to help prioritize what players want to see most first. No promises for legend rewards, just note that they do see the feedback when it is being passed along. So basically, again, like they said, they're setting the foundation for the PvP house. They're working on it. It's not going to be super fast, but they're getting there, and they are making small changes in that regard. So there. On to our tips, tricks, and videos, which we don't have a British man to read for you this week, which I know disappoints everyone.
Well, does that mean we can just skip it?
No, because I actually went and found some of these. I actually did some work on it. Otherwise, I'd say yes.
Fine.
There aren't too many of them. Well, the first one I'm going to throw in there is actually not a video at all, because Glad just straight up tweeted a couple things. Guns to look for next season. So again, with the anti-barrier stuff coming to different weapons next season, Glad says, here's the kinetic weapons to hunt for. Your Go Figure Pulse is a world drop. Your Blast Furnace comes from the Forge. Your Bygones comes from Gambit. Your Chattering Bone from Last Wish. Your Sacred Providence from Garden of Salvation. Randy's Throwing Knife, your Crucible Pinnacle. And your Night Watch, which is a Tier 2 Reckoning, the Night Boss reward, which is a good scout. So again, those are your scouts and pulse rifles to go out and hunt. The energy weapons he recommends for anti-barrier for next season is your Outlast, your T2 Reckoning Oryx Boss, your Claws of the Wolf from Iron Banner, Right Side of Wrong from the Bottom Mars Lost Sector, your Hortative from the Vex Offensive, so get that before that goes away, your Oxygen SR3, dust that thing off, is your Vanguard Pinnacle, your Vouchsafe, and then your Black Scorpion from Banshee. So again, really just find your favorite scout or pulse rifle, pull out of the vault, play with it next season. You're going to enjoy it. And because we don't have a British man talking to you this week, we bring you a different British man, Houndish. He has a big news update video where he just goes over everything we talked about. So if you don't like our voices, go listen to his British voice telling you all about it. He also has a video on what's going away and how to prep for Season of Dawn, which, again, by the time this comes out, it may already be over. So, yeah, you should have prepped already. If you're waiting to the last second, just like going on a Black Friday sale in the afternoon, you missed it. Jarv has an infinite ammo glitch, which is basically very similar to the yeeting bosses off the map glitch. However, you can add your heavy or your special finisher mods, sort of do the same thing, and it just drops ammo brick out of ammo brick out of ammo brick, and doesn't take any of your super to pull it off. So he's got the video on that. Fallout Plays has more hidden exotic perks. So he's been taking some community feedback from folks saying, hey, there's a hidden perk on this or on that. So he goes over about a dozen or so. So a couple I thought was interesting is the Merciless Fusion Rifle has a hidden Feeding Frenzy perk. So it reloads super fast. And the Cerberus +1 actually gets stronger the further your target is away, up until about 49 meters. So if you're engaging at distance with a Cerberus, it's actually doing a little bit more damage than people close up, which is interesting. Kami Cakes has a video about the Blasphemer being incredible. It's sort of it's a drop from the Altar of Sorrows on the Moon, which is basically Halo Firefight in Destiny. You can get a curated roll with quick draw and opening shot on it, which makes it a little bit better than the Chaperone, because you can also throw an Icarus mod on it to land those jump shots, and that quick draw and opening shot packs a little bit more of a punch, and you can bring it out super fast. So good for PvP. The highest damage weapon for the season, Mtashed, has a video where he goes over a handful of things. The Soul Survivor and Izunagi's Burden, as sniper rifles are a couple of them. The Outlast Pulse Rifle from Gambit, and getting Claws of the Wolf from Iron Banner. Your Wendigo Grenade Launcher, your Love and Death, and he goes over a bunch of others. So if you're looking for high DPS, he has some good suggestions for that. Astrocross Gaming has the Weapons of Season of the Dawn you should have with the new artifact mods. Again, he looks at sort of what mods are out there and some weapons that might synergize with those new mods. Basically, everybody put out what guns you should have videos this week. So find your favorite streamer, search for Destiny 2 Season of Dawn. They're going to tell you what guns to use, what things you should grind for. And yeah, that's it for videos this week. And go visit Cheese Forever because he's a good dude, and why not? He bought a Google Stadia so you wouldn't have to.
Nice.
And assuming Skype recorded all of this, that brings us to the end of our show.
Woo woo! I love it.
We're gonna cross our fingers that Skype recorded it all. We're gonna see which 17 pages of stuff the Nitedemon found that we didn't cover this week that he will chastise us about next week. We'll see if Discord comes back up by next week and Craig can talk to us again, which is why we're on Skype. And yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add? Scream about? Tell the good people?
Not this week. I'll be honest with you. I'm just really hungry. I'm gonna go get food.
Oh, I was gonna say Luda has not provided you with your nourishing breakfast yet, but I forgot you're in the Dakota. She didn't fly it out to you. She didn't Postmates it to you in South
Speaking
Dakota.
Of
there.
Flying out, I got my new glasses yesterday. I got some Ray-Bans to replace these dumbass.
Mhm.
I can't say ass. To replace these ones I have. And she can't even, not only did she not mail me my breakfast, she can't even go to the eye place, get my glasses that I need, and overnight them to me.
You don't get to see this week. I'm sorry. You will get to see next week. Your seeing has been nerfed. You're gonna have to wait till Tuesday for it to be buffed. That's how it works. The new season comes and you'll be able to see again.
I guess. Whatever.
All right. Well, now that this pig has been thoroughly kicked and he's going to be a delicious bacon and pork chop.
Stop kicking the pig!
Thank you for joining us. Your Titan is Peroty. Your Hunter is no one respawns in real life. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can hit up the show on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram by searching the name of our show. You can join our clan. You can not join our clan. Either way, take it or leave it. You can find your favorite Guardians on Xbox Live or PC. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. Until next week, when you've had two Americans giving you all the good news, the revolution goes on. Say goodbye, Respawn.
Viva la revolution! So here's the thing for everybody out there. What?